So we're a week into my March maximizing metabolic magnificence. I love alliteration. Funny how love alliteration also kind of has a ring to it, doesn't it? Anyway, what did I eat yesterday? 12 eggs, 2 of which were in my cloud bread, which also had to add a half of a block of cream cheese. I had some leftover cheesy beef crumble or SOS on my 8 eggs and another pound of hamburgers and a stick of butter total. And who knew? I lost some more weight, I guess, 85.9 kilos, 189 pounds. And today's topic is nutrition. What do we know about nutrition? Well, Dr. Westman had Dr. Fetke on his channel, and they discussed the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I think at the very beginning they ardently believed in what they were doing because there was no nutrition going on. And the stuff that was going on, trying to get meat into the large cities, was treacherous in the 19th century. And a lot of people got sick. They used to throw their waste in the streets. I know this. And so I guess they came up with something. And it turns out that there's another female who wrote a nutrition book in the early 20th century. And that was based on the teachings and beliefs of Ellen G. White and her protege, Kellogg, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, anytime you break your fast is pretty important because if you don't, you're going to die. But does it have to be in the morning? Does it have to be cereal? No and no. And so that's what we're dealing with. And it's really, really hard to break what has become tradition. But unfortunately, now, and I think it still worked because people still weren't as affluent. There wasn't as much food available in the early 20th century. We went through the Depression. My grandma told me some stories. They had to extend meat, for example, so they'd add, potatoes and some other stuff, to try to extend the food budget because food was tough to come by. And then we hit the 50s, we hit prosperity, and people were still in pretty decent shape, although they started smoking a lot. I believe 47% of the population was on cigarettes, and of course that's going to lead to a lot of trouble in the cardiovascular system. Well, they attributed it to fat, and it happened to be that this McGovern person in 77, when they came up with this food pyramid thing, chose that fat was the reason that was causing everyone to become harmed, not sugar or nicotine. Dr. Sivas has some interesting information on both sugar and nicotine, I believe, in his PhD studies. Now, he's an actual MD surgeon, a bariatric surgeon, pediatric surgeon, etc., but he is also a PhD, and he did, I believe, his doctoral thesis on the liver and what sugar and I guess nicotine does to the vascularness, the vessels in the liver. All right, so we kind of know what the bad guys are. That's sugar. All right, and it's sugar, and plants break down to sugar. So adopting a vegan diet, while probably, since it's whole food, it's got to be better than the standard Western diet, right? The pyramid now, the My Plate. Well, apparently, I just heard from Dr. Sean Baker. He said, you know what, these continuous glucose monitors are going to be coming out, and you don't need a prescription anymore. Yay. So what you can do with that is you can probably just purchase your own, plug it in, and see what these various foods do to you. Now, the vegan community is not a fan of that because they're going to see that their blood glucose is high all day. And because they are really not satiating probably very well on adequate bioavailable human, the human amino acids that we require from the animals, they're probably pretty darn hangry, and things are going to start falling off. All right, so that's just kind of how that happens. And from what I understand, there's two guys that promote this veganism stuff, and apparently their HbA1cs are high fives, sixes. Again, this comes from Fetke. This comes from other doctors. You know, I stand on the shoulders of giants. That's how I learned my stuff. They were the pioneers, and they were the ones who broke the mold. Good for them. So, what you think you know about nutrition today, about your little 60% carbohydrates and moderate to low protein, because of course protein's dangerous. Keep fats as low as you can, keep salt as low as you can, hydrate, whatever. That's all come from politics and baloney. Well, they'd be better off if they ate baloney, but not believed baloney. I see a hashtag in there somewhere. Eat baloney, don't believe baloney. I like that. I'm going to try to fix it up, try to alliterate it. Anyway, guys, we'll chat with you on the next one. Be well.